Hey folks, welcome back to Ndaba Africa. This is Chris coming to you with a summary of events that took place today in the mother city of Cape Town in South Africa on what was the 25th of October 2020, an event to celebrate or commemorate Black Monday. Yes, I know it's a Sunday, but it was about Black Monday. Let me talk about those events in Cape Town. So before you turn to the mainstream or fake stream fraudulent media who will deceive and lie to you, let me get some of the facts out there as I watched it unfold live on my stream here and an assessment of what happened here. Well, first off, we see that the mainstream media in South Africa, proving themselves to be corrupt and irrelevant, the ENCA reportedly asked Valarie about farm worker abuse rather than about farm murders. This event was an event that started in 2017 to focus and bring attention for South Africa and the world on the violent murder of farmers in rural South Africa, predominantly white South Africans, but not exclusively. And so they should have been asking her questions about the march, the organization, why they're doing it. But the ENCA, once again, it's race merchant peddling game going on here by media in South Africa. The ENCA focuses on farm worker abuse, which is not the topic of the day. If the ENCA wants to cover that, they're welcome to do that, and they have done so in some rather questionable reports in the past, but that's their prerogative. But why is the ENCA in Cape Town asking the organizer of a march about farm murders, about farm worker abuse? Not germane to the topic. That's not an objective media. That's a biased media. And if they want to talk about farm worker abuse, then let's talk to the farmers' unions and let's talk to people about that at an event or on another day, not here. International broadcast media were not present. If they were, they weren't broadcasting at the time that I was streaming live coverage of events with Jeremy Nell on the ground in Cape Town, covering it live, reporting from the scene, as well as Yanni Meyer, one of the organizers. I saw no international coverage of this whatsoever, could find no coverage of it. If it's out there, if I missed it, my apologies. But as usual, they appear to be absent, and maybe we'll file news service reports after the fact. So first off, let's get something very clear. I saw people in my stream come in, and I expect to see this in the mainstream media and in print reports about the event and dismiss it as a small event and unimportant. Actually, that's not true, and let's get that out of the way before anyone tries to use that fraud. The event in Cape Town was limited to 500 participants by the city of Cape Town. I'm going to show you the actual authorization from the city, and I folded up one of the organizers' personal information here. So what you'll see is this was issued on the 22nd of October 2020, right there. See it right there by my finger? Yeah, 22nd of October. They applied on the 29th of September, and you can see clearly right here that the event is limited to just 500 participants right there. 500 participants are allowed to participate. That's it. So the city of Cape Town authorized the demonstration and march on the Parliament building in Cape Town, but limited to 500 people. Also put other restrictions in, which were not unreasonable given this situation, but they require that people wear a face mask, adhere to all health protocols, maintain a distance of at least 1.5 meters, and adhere to all protocols. I don't know why they're repeating this. Adhere to all health protocols and social distancing in terms of level and directions. Well, to be fair, many of the people walking were maintaining social distance on their way to the Parliament, but weren't wearing their face mask. Once they got there, the police reminded the organizers, Yanni Meyer, that people need to wear their mask, and so he politely asked for people to put their mask on in English and Afrikaans. They did. We saw near universal support for that action when they were told to do it, to put their mask on. So well done. Also, it's rare that we get an opportunity to compliment the South African Police Service for actions well taken. If you remember the tourism demonstration that was authorized by the city at Parliament, the police water cannoned demonstrators, or protesters, I should say. They weren't really doing much of a demonstration. They water cannoned them with no reason whatsoever. People who were leaving the scene when directed, they were attacked by the police, and the behavior of the police in Cape Town was abysmal on that occasion. Today, whoever's responsible for the police, I don't know if they've discovered some good leadership somewhere, or maybe they promoted someone who's actually got their act together, but the police, by and large, were very respectful, and there was reciprocity from the crowd and from the police. And also, the organizer thanked the police for their good behavior, and that was well done. Bravo to Yanni Meyer and to Valarie for organizing this and for their cooperation with law enforcement in Cape Town to keep it a civil event. So it was limited to 500 people. So if you hear people claim it was a small event, they're dishonest if they don't bother to mention what I just mentioned. There were approximately 500 to 600 people present, but that probably included maybe a few journalists and those not participating. But the group who participated were limited to 500, and the organizers actually had to actively ask people not to come to the event so they didn't violate the city's requirements and restrictions. So well done, but let's make sure that the fake stream media doesn't misrepresent the facts here. So the gathering was not small. People, as I saw marching along the route, we had live coverage of that, were well behaved, polite, courteous to law enforcement, as I said, who reciprocated. They left no rubbish behind. The streets were perfectly clear. I saw the street completely clear of all those who participated from a backdrop with Yanni on the phone call, and not one piece of rubbish laying on the street. They caused no mayhem, and they had no destruction of public property. This is a stark contrast to the economic freedom fighters' assembly to start a civil war in Senegal on the 16th of October, in which they ostensibly went there to protect state property. And what they did, in fact, was damage the rubbish bins, concrete rubbish bins. They smashed and broke them. They left the rubbish all over the streets, and they tore down street signs. Bravo, economic freedom fighters. You expose yourself for the thugs that you are, not legitimate political discourse, but thugocracy. That's what they're interested in. They take their inspiration from Harari and ZANU-PF, not from libertarians or people curious about freedom and representative government. So, as once again, well-behaved, polite, courteous to law enforcement, which was reciprocated by the police, and they left no rubbish behind, caused no mayhem, no destruction of public property. Several people spoke at the event, including Yanni Meyer, one of the organizers who applied for the permit, Valarie Bielefeld, who is responsible for Black Monday and a major organizer of it. As I mentioned, she was interviewed at least by ENCA. Don't know who else interviewed her. We'll hopefully get her on the channel soon. Dr. Corne Mulder, the whip from the Freedom Front Plus in Parliament, the longest-serving member of South Africa's Parliament at the moment. Dr. Hammond and Des Palm from one of the secession movements there in the Western Cape. Now, some of the speakers were angry and called for action, while others urged calm and restraint. Folks, it's important to get the facts right without fiction and lies, and that's what we've just done here. I hope that you find this a useful video, and that you, if you're not a subscriber already to Chris Wyatt Africa, I ask you to take a moment and smash that like button or that subscription button right down there. Be sure to toggle the bell icon to get notified of updates on my videos. And finally, I ask that you smash the like button, because likes really drive viewership. The more likes the video gets, the more likely it is that YouTube will promote it, particularly on a topic that's not covered and underserved, like farm murders plus mod in South Africa. Folks, thank you so much for your time, for your patronage, your support of the channel. God bless. Have a good day. And remember that the Black Monday demonstration march that took place in the mother city of Cape Town today was peaceful. It was well attended, and it went off quite well. So thank you very much. Make sure that the fake stream media doesn't delude you or confuse you with the false narrative. God bless and have a good day, folks, and we'll catch you here next time on Chris Wyatt Africa, the Adobe Africa channel.